As the baby was born, Enejo saw for a brief moment a light emanating from Akowe's eyes. Akowe's face in that brief moment changed into something terrifying, and Enejo immediately realized the reason for her mother's warning in the dream. Once upon a time, there lived a popular woman in a village named Akowe. Akowe was a midwife whose knowledge of childbirth was unmatched. Her hands were believed to hold the power of life and death, as Akowe not only aided in the birth of children but also brought several children back to life. A few years ago, a certain woman went into labor, and after hours of painful labor, her baby came out dead, and Akowe held the baby up in the air for a few minutes, and the baby let out a loud cry. The woman was so happy and told everyone that Akowe brought her baby back to life, and the entire village opened their mouths in awe as Akowe became the most sought after midwife in the whole of the village. All the women came to Akowe for their childbirth as they believed they were in safe hands with her. As the years went by, the children Akowe had delivered grew up so close to Akowe and would spend so much time at her hut, and the villagers named them the Akowe babies. Everyone wanted to have an Akowe baby in their home, as the babies grew up intelligent and strong, known for their wisdom and strength even at a very young age. The marvel of the Akowe babies became a source of pride for the village, and people from neighboring villages began to bring their pregnant women to Akowe in hopes that their children too would receive the blessing of her touch. One day, a woman named Enejo, who was expecting her first child after 6 years of being married, had a dream where her late mother appeared to her and warned her not to allow Akowe near her child. Her late mother told her that Akowe binds those that she helps to her dark will, and that Enejo should make use of another midwife. Enejo woke up confused as she wondered why her mother would appear to her in her dream to warn her of Akowe. She had always dreamt of birthing an Akowe baby and could not let anything stop that from happening. Akowe's abilities and reputation in the village overshadowed all doubts that she had, as the villagers respected Akowe not just as a midwife but as a savior of children. So, when the time came for Enejo to give birth to her baby, she entrusted her delivery to Akowe, owing to her impeccable track record of overseeing countless safe deliveries in the village. As Enejo labored, she noticed that Akowe was saying some strange words underneath her breath. This was not the calm words of prayers she expected, but weird chants that seemed to make her grow weak. As the baby was born, Enejo saw for a brief moment a light emanating from Akowe's eyes. Akowe's face in that brief moment changed into something terrifying, and Enejo immediately realized the reason for her mother's warning in the dream. With the little strength that she could muster, Enejo screamed out to Akowe not to harm her child, and Akowe, seeing that Enejo had seen her true self, tried to strike Enejo with death when Enejo's sister walked in and caught sight of her. Akowe dropped the baby immediately and left Enejo's hut in a hurry. This was shocking to Enejo's sister, who tried to understand why Akowe walked out of their hut in such a hurry. She asked her sister what had happened, but Enejo, although weak, explained to her sister that Akowe had done something evil to her child. The news spread around the village, and the people gathered as they pondered on the authenticity of the news. A sense of unease gripped the entire village as mothers who had bettered their children with Akowe panicked at the revelation. They rushed to Akowe's hut and found it empty and wondered where she could be. They searched the entire village, but Akowe was nowhere to be found. It was then that the villagers began to believe that something was amiss. They consulted a very powerful seer who told them that Akowe was a very dangerous witch who was on a mission to recruit children into her evil coven. She disguised as a midwife to gain access to newborn babies and charm them at birth, changing their destinies and recruiting them into her evil coven. She revealed that all those birthed through the hands of Akowe were all witches and wizards who fly at night, causing havoc in the village. When the villagers heard this, they all panicked as they wondered what they could do. The seer then told them that there was only one way to reverse the spell and free the children from Akowe's evil hold. The villagers had to find Akowe and make her undo the charm before the next full moon, or the effects will become permanent. The villagers, filled with fear and a need to protect their children, decided to search the forest and surrounding villages for Akowe. They spent days combing the thick forest, searching for Akowe, but Akowe was nowhere to be found. Knowing that the full moon was fast approaching, the villagers began to panic as they wondered where she could be. Akowe had to undo what she had done to their children, or else their children will forever remain a part of her evil coven, and the idea of this terrified them greatly. They had searched everywhere they could ever think of, but Akowe was nowhere to be found, and the people cried out in agony as they watched their children in terror at night, imagining what they could be doing as they slept. Enejo, whose baby was the last that Akowe had initiated, sat in her room as she cried out in pain, calling on her late mother's spirit to save her from the mess that she had gotten herself into because of her disobedience. She apologized for not listening to her mother and asked for her mother's help. She could not imagine giving birth to a child after 6 years of waiting and realizing that the child had been initiated into an evil coven by a woman the entire village trusted and respected. Enejo slept that night and saw her late mother again in her dream. This time, her mother warned her about following the crowd blindly because broad is the road that leads to destruction. Her mother's spirit then revealed to her the true location of Akowe. She explained that Akowe had a secret hideout deep within a forgotten cave at the edge of the forest where she drew her powers from. Enejo, empowered by this revelation, alerted the entire village, who set out to the cave in search of Akowe. After several hours of walking, they arrived at the entrance of the ancient cave. Their hearts began to pound as they had no idea what they were walking into. However, knowing the power of unity that they possessed, they walked into the cave, whose walls were etched with ancient carvings. As they advanced into the depths of the cave, they heard a humming sound coming from deep within the cave and decided to follow the sound. After a few minutes, the villagers caught sight of Akowe, who was sitting in the middle of the cave with her legs crossed on the ground. Akowe, sensing their presence behind her, turned to face them as she told them that she had been expecting them. Enejo then stepped forward and asked Akowe how the charm could be broken, and Akowe looked her in the eyes and said that she had no plans of reversing the charm, considering the fact that the full moon was only a few hours away. In that moment, Enejo held up a mirror to Akowe, who began to scream frantically. Enejo's mother had told her to carry a mirror because she knew Akowe hated mirrors and would do anything to keep mirrors away from her. Enejo used the mirror to squeeze out the information they needed from Akowe, who gave her a strange looking stick for her to burn, saying that once they burned the stick, the spell will be broken and their children will be set free from her evil hold. She told them that for it to be effective, they had to go to the middle of the village to burn the stick, as only then would all the children be set free. With a heavy heart, Enejo took the stick and made her way out of the cave with all the other villagers. They arrived in the middle of the village and Enejo lit the stick on fire, and all their children, who had been under the spell of the evil midwife Akowe, were now set free. The entire village jubilated as they showed their gratitude to Enejo for her guidance and help in setting their children free from the evil hands of Akowe, who they later locked up in the village dungeon as they stripped her of her evil powers. That was how the entire village was saved from the hands of the evil midwife who almost ruined the lives of the children that she helped bring forth into the world. The lesson to be learned from this story is that nothing is hidden under the sun. The evil that you do would one day come to light. So change your ways and live in peace with others. Do not follow the bandwagon or do something solely because everyone is doing it, because in doing so, you might unknowingly walk into trouble. Always listen to your instincts. Heed the warnings of those who care for you, and be wary of those who appear to be saviors but harbor dark intentions. I hope you enjoyed the story.
Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps us grow our channel. I'll see you in our next story. Bye.